Hey, welcome to Contrib to Call for the WordPress Toronto Meetup group. My name's Paul Bearne. Oh, I'll put my credits on. I wonder if I can put my credits on still. Control room. Nope, not that one. That one. Toolbox. Turn the toolbox on. Lower thirds. Turn it on. Yes, I've got credits. Just in case you couldn't work out how to spell my name. It looks really weird from this side because it's back to front, but that's good. What happened since last time? We got a Contrib props in. I did. Let's share my screen, and I will show you what we found. We were fiddling with a function, and this function here, function set up on Get Archives, didn't have a declared function parameter in it. If I load that up and get a better diff, where is it? Yep. So year parameter was assumed to be available, and it wasn't there. So this .year parameter wasn't actually declared in the protected, and so I just added that in. Didn't take very long, but it did result in a props to me in a fix. So that's all good news.
Great.
And you were saying that you haven't got anything fixed in from your other.
Yeah, I didn't get any update.
Okay.
On the tickets that I submitted.
Oh.
Since the last time.
Well, that's outrageous. We'll have to get some stuff. Fixed in there. We've got some start of unit test stuff which is still got to be finished. So we'll be back into this unit test, I think, or one of the unit tests. But in the meantime, I have a bug, a really simple bug. And seeing you're the only person here, would you like to do this bug for us?
All right.
I was looking for a get linked to edit functionality in order to provide a link into a stuff, and I came across this function, get link to edit, and it says you pass an ID in it. As you can see, it's just straight wrapper of get bookmark. And if we go and have a look at what get bookmark is, get bookmark has a bookmark parameter as the first parameter, and that's a standard class. It's a bookmark object. So it can be an int or it can be a class. So documentation's wrong. So I think we can change the documentation to reflect this so that it passes the correct parameter into it.
So what happens when you pass? So it accepts both.
It accepts both, yeah. So if we just follow this through, bookmark, if it's an object,
right.
We use this empty bookmark. Don't get the globals link stuff.
So you added the int there already?
No, this is how as it is. And if it's a bookmark, it goes into there. It's a decimal. If it's an object, it goes into here. So the interesting thing is, this it's got a link ID. Yeah, get link to edit and like, and it says it will partake an int, but there is nothing there's nothing to restrict this being passed as an object.
I see.
Now that could be that the thing is what this should do is that should cast it. Yeah, we should say that this particular function only takes the int object, yeah, and pass it through. But without changing that, I think we should, basically the documentation is wrong. The documentation should be that.
Right, I see. I think just changing the documentation, maybe the variable name.
Yeah, because it can now just be link.
Yeah, to be less misleading.
Link ID. It's actually a link ID or bookmark. And I'm not quite sure what a bookmark is. There appears to be some sort of global bookmark caching stuff. Sanitized bookmark. There's a whole raft of stuff in here for it. There's a data object in here for this. So it's just that this should be a standard object capability, even though it's, or we should make this a, restrict this to an int. I'm not quite sure which is the best way of doing it, but it is not correct. It says it only takes an int and it takes other things.
Yeah, link ID.
Yeah, it's link ID, but it comes into here. It takes a bookmark here. Retrieve bookmark data. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's empty, if it is empty, and if the global link is set, bookmark equals that. Else bookmark is null. Else if it's an object, we get add the link ID to the cache, and the bookmark goes into the, and we set that to the bookmark. If else, it comes out here. Globals links link ID, which is a link ID, get generated, equals bookmark. Not strongly typed, but in there. So if that is an ID, then
We will
we bookmark it. Yeah. Otherwise, we go look in the cache. Yeah. Otherwise, if it's if that, then there's a SQL statement where link ID equals ent prep. Yeah, that's a number, so that would be safe. So that's when it becomes an ID. So basically, you can pass a bookmark object into there. So I'm wondering whether we should make it call it bookmark again, so it's consistent.
Right.
I think it should be the same as this. So I think this should be
get link to edit. Yeah, the thing is, it's a tough decision, because if you provide the user this function signature there, it'll be hard to understand. And this seems to be a function that the users will use.
Well, it's used once.
Yeah.
It's used that one time.
I mean, but you can call it on your theme, or
yes.
And well, I think as long as we document it, that bookmark can be an ID, or
otherwise it goes into object terms, bookmark ID. It goes in here. It's where it's used, goes into links and look up a link ID. So this is all about links, which is a links table, which is an old deprecated table, hardly used, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Bookmark. Was it called bookmark before?
Yes, here it was. But I changed it here to.
No, I mean the links functionality.
Yes,
or the table.
It's called bookmark. The file that's in.
Right.
So I think that's a little fix for somebody. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it.
It's okay. I'll do it. So changing to bookmark. All right. Let me.
Yeah.
That's
So
bookmark.php. All right.
yeah, we can put that in, and you can commit that into core as a change, and say basically it doesn't match the wrapper doesn't match the function internally. So
Right.
so it's not doesn't give you doesn't expose all options as normal, I suppose. And they may say, nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, they should cast the bookmark, the ID to an int, so it only accepts the int version.
Okay. Bookmark. Pop, pop, pop. So the get link function is, where is it defined?
Sorry?
The get link function, where did you find it?
It's in it includes bookmark. There. Oh yeah. If you got it, yeah, you got it on the screen.
Oh, there. Get link to edit. Okay. Would be int or
Standard object, standard class. Yeah, and
then changing from link ID to bookmark.
Yep. So you can pass a bookmark object and get a bookmark back, which is really weird.
But it's a bookmark. It's like a bookmark object with just the ID, no other information, right? Which is, yeah.
Well, you can change the type of object you get in there. You can get it as an array, basically. Get it back as an array.
Right.
Yeah. So.
So are there other get links there? No.
No.
Did you verify which other functions they're calling get bookmark?
No, I haven't. So there's a link that's passing in an ID. Bookmark.
Well, there are a lot of places calling it, I think.
There's a handful.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do the diff.
There's a get. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me check here.
Yep.
Let's see if
Yep. Push that through and see what happens. It's only a minus.
Screen share. Nope. How do you name this div files, Paul? Usually,
Either the folder, the file that's been diffed, or the ticket number. So at this point, I'd probably use the name of the function. This is anything will do at this point. So
okay.
Get bookmark link. Could keep it simple, so that it's obvious what's happening.
Okay. Let me just see if I missed something in the comment here. ID of link to retrieve. So I think I should add something in the comments as well.
Yes, I did. Or bookmark, or bookmark.
Bookmark. link to retrieve. All right. Let me just WordPress. Okay, now to track.
And the other thing I'd want to talk to you about today is that if you go up to the top here where it says notifications and you click on that, you get to this page, which allows you to select specific areas of interest.
I see. So every time someone opens a ticket,
and
I would get an email notifying me.
Yes, yeah, of that for that area. So that can be of interest.
Cool. Let me just go through it quickly.
And I stuck my head above the parapet a couple of weeks ago, and I'm now the maintainer of the date and time. I need to go and have a look at the tickets. There's one extra ticket. So
cool.
I need to, so I thought I would do something. I thought that was the amount of stuff we're doing around the date and time in the root function side. I thought that was a good place to be.
Right.
So I'm starting to do that, and it isn't too busy a section as well. I couldn't handle one of the busy sections. I'm just too much else going on.
Okay. I'm trying to get my password for track. Retrieve it.
Yeah, it's can be a pain.
It's taking some time to. For them to send me the reset link. Yeah, I'll proceed whenever they decide to send me the reset link here. We can do something else in the meantime.
Yeah. All right. All right. So where were we? We were fiddling around in the date I-18 for a bit, weren't we? I don't know if we got anywhere. There was this tickets that we had that were in that list that we were looking at, and we couldn't actually reproduce the error, could we? It's
some of the bugs we got there, they're not actually bugs, and we reported that in the ticket.
Yeah.
But then we got stuck at some part. I think it was like a regex part.
So that got reopened. Right, var dump.
So that's another ticket, right?
Yeah, this is another ticket, which is IT18 produces invalid output for shorthand formats. And basically she's complaining that C and past time in it produces incorrect.
Right.
And C should be doing date WC.
C.
So where is this ticket now? I've completely rewrote it and did test spy. So I think we should grab all these tests and put them into proper unit tests, because he's not making proper unit tests.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 3 years old, of course.
Okay. We have some tests here. Date.
Yeah.
I got the password reset email. Okay, user activity, member since, view your profile. No, that's not track. Notifications. Paul, I mean the part that you mentioned of the notifications.
Yep.
Any specific one that I should be checking here?
No, it's what you fancy. It can be.
Mm-hmm.
Don't click the main branches, because you get millions of emails.
The main branches, I see.
Yeah, like 4.6 at the bottom.
Right. But then, how do I get? If I just want tickets about functions file.
No, that's not available.
Yeah.
So these are the components. These are component filters. So if you wanted to say get everything about the menu, you could just tick the menu, and it should get the menu components through to you. I have the date time coming to me.
I see. Cool.
If you wanted to do I-18, there's an I-18 one there.
Cool. Yeah, I'll try this one for now. Anything else you should be checking here?
Up to you. It's just a way of getting a big grouping of stuff to come through.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try to submit that the correction. Not here. Tickets. Next. Tracking. Great ticket. Okay.
Yeah. So there's basically a rewrite of the I-18 that is waiting on unit tests. Yeah.
Right.
And so we need to write a shed load of unit tests. Yeah.
We start. So there is already a date. I-18.
We made this.
Okay, we made that. Yeah. So there was no test before for that file.
No.
Okay. So we're just going to add some of this functions that this person posted there. We're just going to put them in the proper format inside the. Okay.
Yep. I think that's what we should do. Have a look at all the various things that he thinks he's fixed.
Right.
And create tests for those things, so that all those scenarios that he thinks he's going to get to work.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and we've still got this fundamental problem: is how do you change the locale in WordPress?
Right.
I'm wondering whether there is actually a need for a piece of code in the locale code to actually dynamically change the location. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that.
Briefly. Right. I'm going to finish posting it this ticket here.
Yep. And then yep. But it requires a translation file.
So it would be a matter of including that in the test, maybe. So these translation files, when we download WordPress for a specific location, these translation files are the only thing that that are different.
Yes, so essentially everything comes in via the translation files. Yeah.
Right.
So the issue we have is that what we almost need to do is in this constructor, yeah.
Yep.
We need to be able to pass into the constructor a location. Okay.
Right.
And we do, if that is set, yeah, we go get the language file for that translation and load that language file.
Right.
And then do the init. Yeah. So we can actually dynamically switch the language in the background.
I see. I see.
So where is that get text dynamic loaded? Because they've got the code now to go get the language. Yeah?
Maybe another way of going through that is it possible to change the interface? Have you ever seen a plugin or whatever that does that? That changing the interface on the fly, like you want your WordPress in Spanish, you're an admin and you want it in Spanish. You just click somewhere, and then for a specific user, we'll just have it in a specific language.
It does do that. You can have the admin in a different language for a user.
How does that work? Because when you download WordPress, it just comes in one language, right?
Yes, but what happens is there's now a language folder. Yeah.
I see. I see.
Which is pulling the languages down.
Okay.
And I'm just looking for that code.
So it's built in, the switch capability.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a okay. Update option WP lang ESSE found. Get so they can do an update option on it. So I found the unit tests for the get locale.
Okay.
Not a huge amount. I wonder where that is. Translation update. I wonder if it's in update core. List translation updates. Okay.
What is that?
List translation updates. Update core. Do translation upgrade. Let's follow that through.
Right.
It's down here a little bit somewhere. Find. Language pack upgrader. New language pack upgrader screen, URL, title, what? Where's that?
All right. Submitted the ticket. I'm pasting it. Pasting the URL.
Cool.
Contrib to core.
Yep. So how do you know what languages you've got installed?
Okay, let's check that.
I'm wondering. Because essentially the idea that I've got here is that we basically add the ability to change the locale, okay, by essentially the way it happens at the moment is it is declared. I don't know where it is at the top of this function. Somewhere there's a basic function somewhere where it's set into the global. Yeah. Locale. No. Probably in the in the declare in the constructor of this in it. Yeah. Yeah, look, see this function here? Okay. I think we should be able to run that and pass in a language string. Yeah. So that way we can just switch it by switching it. But the problem is, in order to switch it, yeah, we need to have the language files there.
So we need an extra language file.
Yeah, but we need to dynamically get that language file for the unit tests, because the unit tests don't have the language files in. Yeah.
No, it has the English one.
Yeah, but we need other languages.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it doesn't even have the English one in there. Yeah, because they're all dynamically loaded now.
I see.
Yeah. So that's my idea, is basically be able to do this, bracket FR whatever it is, yeah. You better do that, yeah, and that sets the language to that language. The locale gets switched on it.
Yeah, well, we will try to get a file with that string that it passed on.
Yes, and so it will then go and get the language file for that.
But the problem is there will be no file there.
Yes, but WordPress has got the code built in. If you go and have a look at the installer, yeah, if we go up and look at includes install, is it to, where's the root installer? Activate. Is it activate? No, it's a sign up, that is.
So you're trying to find like a place where it downloads the language file?
Yeah, here's where the update does it. Yeah, it gets the update. But in the install, okay. Hello, we've got someone else joined us.
Hi.
Hi there.
My name's Ian.
Welcome.
I've been creeping on the wall for a while, but I'm in Kitchener, so I can't come out to any of your events. So
Well, that's why we have this virtual one.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd jump on.
Yeah.
I know I'm a little late.
No hassles at all. Welcome.
Nice to meet you guys.
Hopefully this will become entertaining for you. So let me explain what we're trying to do. We do a couple of things. If you'd been earlier, you would have had a patch. I found a patch, and Theo just put it in. But we're doing two things. Well, we're doing one fundamental thing in the group. Theo, do you want to keep going on and see if you can work out how to get that auto install to work? Yeah. Okay. So we're working on this file, which is the includes functions file. Okay.
Okay.
And what the sort of the core of the work we're doing is writing unit tests for this file.
Okay.
Okay, it's really simple work, but it allows you to get your name in lights, and get into the habit of understanding how to do core contribs to core.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cool.
and this is stuff that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
It's unglamorous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is 600 functions in here that have no
Right.
code.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are the original functions from WordPress.
Okay.
So, version, look, 1.0.771
Yeah.
version. Yeah, this was still called BB2 at the time when this was written. It wasn't
Wow.
even WordPress. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a patch that went in. I put in. Let me go back to the list of the patches. If I put a patch in for, where is it? Probably back another one. And it was a bug that Matt had left some. Yeah. Is it that one? No. Last number format. Is it that one? Yeah, this one. All right. So, all right. Right. Look at
Okay.
this. Right. This is a patch that we found. We found this code. Archive equals naught. Yeah. If
Yep.
not archive, do these. So this code never ran. Never ever ran. Yeah.
Hmm.
And what we had in here, we had data archive being declared up here. Yeah. And then set to the get option. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so what they've done is they stripped it all out. Yeah. And called the get option directly.
Directly.
Okay.
Huh.
So that's what we ended up doing. That little bit got done by one of the core devs. But
Yeah. So that's
let's have
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
8 lines of code.
Yeah. That had never
Or
been
9 lines. Yeah, that were never run.
Never run.
And
Okay.
when was that? Would have been a really old function then.
Well, it wasn't that long, but it was just sitting in the code, wasting space and just confusing people.
Yeah.
But
of course.
That was added by Matt Mullenway in commit number 24 of BB2.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Wow.
So this gives you an idea of how old some of this code is.
Yeah.
And it has loads of scope for improvement and patches and just general TLC.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the main part of what we're doing. But one of the problems we've discovered is that a lot of this code is dependent upon the locale of where the country is. So we're looking at the moment, we've come to this function called this date I18. Okay. By the way, look where I am. I'm only about half a bracket up the top here. I've only hardly moved. Yeah. This is where we've got to. We've done a couple later in this, but we've come back to this one because there are some bugs around in this, and people would like this fixed. But the problem is it's global localization, and then it uses those variables in here in order to do different things for different languages.
Right.
Okay. The issue we have when trying to write unit tests for this, this is set in the unit test to English. Right. There is no way to swap it.
Right.
So what we are looking at trying to do, and this is today's project, this week's project, a slight diversion from our normal thread. We're looking at trying to set that. So in WP settings, let's take this code out. This is where this function is called. Okay. And the proposal that I have is that we add to this class declaration the ability to pass in a language string, like that.
Right.
Okay. All right, because at the moment what happens is it's declared, and you can declare it in the. That's interesting.
So Paul, I found something.
Yeah, you can declare it in the config file, can't you? The language. Yeah, so we're trying to do that. So when you run this function, and then what we can do in our unit tests is we can say global locale, or local variable equals global locale. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Global locale equals local WP locale French.
Right.
And we can
so then you can change it
change
before
it.
running the unit test.
Run the unit tests,
Yeah.
and then change it back.
Right.
Yeah. It also might be useful at other times to
Yeah.
actually have the ability to, midway through a page,
Yeah.
change the language. Yeah.
Yeah.
That the stuff's working in. Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at trying to do. Yeah. No idea if it will get into core.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're having a play at it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, Theo, you said you found something?
Yeah, I'm looking at the plugin here called, what is it? It's called Inner Language. It's just one PHP file plugin, and it just basically, according to whatever you're using in your browser, if you're an admin, it will display the admin in your language.
And so, I bet you what it's doing is, I have a suspicion that the answer, in fact, is what we're going to have to do is change the globe. I don't like this, but in the config file, which we don't have here, we can set a language in the config file.
This plugin doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So it's using a filter, and the filter receives the locale and it returns the new locale.
Yes, we know about that filter.
Okay. The way it gets it is just get the available languages through this function.
Yep.
And it chooses the appropriate one and then returns it, basically.
Okay, so that's getting the language from the browser.
Yes, that's the part that gets the weird.
That's okay. That we don't even want to worry about.
Yeah.
So the issue I've got is I need unit tests to go get the language file.
I think we don't need this part. If we have a function that can return the new locale,
yeah,
we can just add a filter to it.
No, that's not going to work because we can do that any case. Because all that does is it changes the string. It does not change the values that come back. Go and look at where that filter is. It's in here. Yeah.
Let me check this. Okay.
Find that filter. Could we actually use that in one of our tests before? In maybe decline date, we used that function here, that filter here. Yeah. We actually set it in that to return FA, which is exactly what that plugin was doing.
I see.
Yeah, but the problem is we actually had to do we wanted all of this stuff. Yeah, because all of this stuff is wrong. Yeah, because we're hand coding the values in here, and I actually want the translation files to crop down and to pick it up, because what this does is month names. You know, if you look at locale month, okay, in the locale function, okay, weekday, month, okay, these are the values, okay, and they're set, and they're basically the translations change them, because these are all in getText functions.
Right.
So what we need to do is change the language at this point, yeah, and then reinitialize. So will this work? If my brain remembers, if I go back into here, wp -config, and it's language, isn't it? Language variable. So I'm just wondering, okay, if we just redefine this, okay, what happens if we redefine this and recall the and just recall the localization.
Change that and
Recall location locale. Reinitialize locale.
You mean like undefine the variable or the constant, redefine it with a different language, and then recall that language function?
Yeah, and then go call the initialization.
And then you could do the other thing, like return it to its original variable.
Yeah.
On the other side.
The question is, does it go get the file?
will the files be there?
No. Not by default.
Are we adding them? Well, we can't add them.
We can't add them, but WordPress has the ability to go and get to deliver those files. Yeah. So look, let me.
By delivery,
you're talking about the language files?
Yeah, it goes and gets the language files. So
the YAML.
So if I go into, I don't know, trunk, yeah, and go into my config file here, let's pass that into something that will actually do something with it. Yeah, and I go set my language here. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Can't read this, but it'll be fun. And then go and load WordPress trunk. All right. Did I break it?
What?
Oh, that's something else.
Yeah.
Let me just remove a plugin.
WP Vault.
Yeah, that's a plugin I've been working on. Yeah. Okay. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm actually going to turn my screen off a second and go and fix that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll put my stop presenting a second. But everyone else sort of think about this a bit while I go and do this.
Yeah, I'll see if there's a way to inject. Another way to inject.
Well, we've done it in the past, and what we've done is we've actually just sort of set the values in the global, because all that stuff gets set into the value. Directly. Okay. No, that wasn't a difficult fix. Okay, so we go into updates. Yeah, so in site define is undetermined. Oh, interesting. Let me share my screen again. Yeah, no longer argument is no longer needed in the in here. Actually, gave me an error.
Okay.
So in general options, yeah, you can come here and you can pick a language.
Ooh, okay.
Canada, so I can read it. Save language. All right. All right, and watch what happened in the background. In trunk, content, languages, English files are there. Yeah,
Cool.
and these files have got what we need. So let's debug this code, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and work out what that's doing, and see if we can programmatically call that. Yeah. Interesting. So what's installed and what's not installed? Interesting. So it's WP LAN. Let's go hunt the code. Who can get there first? All right. So I'm looking in here, and I've got switch case lang has been changed.
WP download language pack.
Yep.
All right.
So load default, unload default, load default text main language. So I think all the stuff's here. And so basically, if it's, do we have a list of the languages? How do we find if a language is installed?
Get available languages. Is the name of the function.
Get. Nice. Down language packs. Where did that go? Download language pack. Language.
Yeah, it checks if probably if the folder is
yeah.
you can
So
write in a folder or something like that.
Can install language pack to do skip if already installed. So this is just sort of abandoned in settings. Can install language. What is can install language pack? Disallow file logs. Okay, we can ignore that. So can we get a list of languages? Yeah. So what we need to do, let's go to our locale list function, okay, and let's flesh it out a little bit. So this is a this now has an optional command. So lang, yeah, and we'll set it to null. Yeah. If null not equal la. Oh. So Ian, you notice I'm using Yoda if statements. Are you familiar with these?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Okay, so look, I've done a test here. Normally you'd sort of see the test this way round. So most of the time when you're seeing a language, a test for something, people would write it this way. Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Now the issue is, it's very easy to write that. Okay, lang equals null. Lang
Yeah.
equals null will always return true. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Why is
So
that?
because it's true, you successfully set lang to equal null.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas that is lang equal null.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you write it the other way around, like this, yeah, what you're attempting to do, let's I take that off for a second so you make sense. So if you write that, you get a PHP error.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is called a Yoda if statement. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
because
it does the same thing,
yep,
except that. Yeah.
because I want to be strict on my comparison,
Yeah.
I'm doing a triple equals or not double
Triple
equals.
not equals.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a type comparison as well. So if lang is null, we want to do is if in array because I need to know that it's a valid language to go and get. Yeah. And I don't know how to get that data yet. So could someone tell me how to get the list of all the languages?
Get available languages.
Perfect. What's it return?
I'm not sure. Have to check.
Available languages directory null. It returns an array of languages, lang files. It goes and gets all the languages. That's all the stuff in the languages. I want to know all the possible languages. Yeah, because this is saying, yeah,
the ones you have installed currently.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think there is.
So there has to be.
Otherwise, you would be used.
Oh, it's there because it's in the drop down. It fires that drop down.
True.
It has to be.
Maybe it's hard coded.
It better not be. Well, even if it is, yeah. I tell you, if it's hard coded in a select, I'm going to pull that out so that it's a variable that can be used.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So while I'm busy writing this, yeah, if there's this languages in language available, yeah, so that's all possible. So we actually need to do this again because we actually need to do this on the second time round. Because if it's not locally, we need to go and get it. Yeah. If not in there, yeah. Go get that file. found the list of languages yet?
Still on it. In array languages. WP get available translations, maybe.
That's the one you want.
And get available languages. There are two different ones.
Yes, the top one is the local is basically what's locally installed.
Okay.
And the second one is what's on the big grid.
Okay.
So WP local languages.
WP get available translations. There is a list. If that's empty.
Yeah, API.
API, yeah. Translations API.
Yeah, and he goes off and gets it. That'll do me.
This is fun.
Yeah, we need to do both of these, don't we? For ease of read, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to put the F's on one line. Yeah. Okay. So, if the constructor is not null, we say, is that language in the available translation? I.e., is it possible? Is it a valid string? Does that take? I suppose we need to make sure that takes. What does that return? We probably need to see what that returns. I have no idea what that returns.
We get available translations?
Yeah. What does it actually return? I want it to return an array of EN_US. Yeah.
Array of translations, each an array of data. Probably is a key value with the key being the codes.
Yeah, so we probably need to do does key exist?
Right.
Yeah. So is there a unit test for that?
This guy? Let me check. I don't think it.
It should be. So it's a new function. It should be.
Let's see. Source.
No unit tests.
Great.
Well, that needs a unit test. And get available languages. And so this might have to be a does key exist? We need to find out what we get back. Probably the same for this. So we probably let's do let's write a quick unit test. So where is that function in translations? Translation install. Where is it? Translation install, and that's in includes translation installs. So the convention is that every folder, new folder directory, and this should be translation install. Yeah.
So forget available languages. There are tests.
Okay.
But not for this one.
So where are the tests for that one then? Where they put the tests?
For get available languages?
Yeah.
I10N.
I10N. Get locale in the locales?
Test underline get available languages.
Okay. Maybe because it's an API call, they decided not to do tests on it.
Mm.
Now there's a get installed language test translations for core.
But is it calling that method? Oh, it is. Hmm.
It's an array. Text domain suspected.
Well, wait, that's a different one. That's not the get available translations.
That's get installed. WP get installed translations core.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Okay.
Wait, what's the difference then between this one and get available languages?
So it has theme, plugins, or core. It has two types.
Hmm.
Scan the directory. Return language data. Language data consists of text domain, language, profile, piles into that.
They both retrieve whatever you have installed, but in different ways. Like
Yeah.
they return different stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's see which one works. So they are arrays, but it's probably the key. Okay, so so let's see what we should do here. So go back to our where's our functions that we're working on? Tests. No, I don't want that one. We had a function we were working on before in the just so we'll just chuck it in here for now. Okay. Function test. So this is how you write unit tests. Yeah. Ian?
Yeah.
So this is tran. Yeah. That will do me. Right. And just for my convenience, I'm just going to actually just dump these out for a second. Dump that. Actually, no, I want to print dump it. And just so we see what we get, yeah, I'm just going to do this and here, and we'll just run that as a unit test. So PHP unit is the function, it's a command line function. Filter, a switch, and just pass it in the name of a test.
And filter just pulls that
Yep.
test function.
Yeah, it looks like it crashed because something's wrong with the thing. Yes, it will just run that test. It looks like the constructor. Undefined. It's undefined.
What? Get available translations.
Maybe this only gets loaded in install.
I see. What about translations? What if you do the call itself? That this function does.
Mm-hmm.
Translations API. And translations API is also part of this file flag.
Just rem that out for now. So this really isn't what you'd call classic unit testing, because it's really a integration testing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
This is pulling from the servers.
yes, because it relies on having databases and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't like that function.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding with a lot of WordPress. Is it's so reliant on the database.
Yes, yeah, and it's a CMS, so that's the way it is. And a lot of the newer code is a much more modular.
Yeah.
And so as stuff gets replaced and gets upgraded, it becomes a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely don't like that function.
I wonder if you can include.
Is there another one somewhere?
Let me check. Figure translation.
Is there... Okay. So that's right. It's got two languages in here. Interesting. So have I got two languages in my WP harness develop?
Are you allowed to do requires in this tests?
I guess so. But no, I don't want to do an inquire in the locale. Yeah.
I see. You're. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. We don't really want to need to have to do a require at that level.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Ian, sometimes we just go down these paths and it don't go anywhere.
So I still have to wonder. I don't know how the listing is done.
Yeah. So how does it do on the options page?
Yeah, I was looking into that. Couldn't find. Oh, I think that becomes a. I think it gets cached.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's not a problem. But does it just cache it forever, or
maybe? Let me.
I
think it might be using this key to retrieve from the cache available translations. Wait, options general calls this function. How do they do it?
Drop down languages.
Oh, they require it too. So the options, options general.php requires this install script. Like it's there. That's why they have it there.
Okay. Well, if they do it, we can do it. But that means it's on every single. That means it's globally loaded, which isn't. I could see pushback on.
Install
does it get put into the cache?
This function will try to retrieve from the cache first.
Oh,
so,
the function will go to but that's still got to get the function in.
But if if you're pretty sure that this is in the cache, you can just retrieve from the cache.
Yeah. Argon's translations. So it can be passed. You can pass a language into it. If it's empty, it goes and gets it. I can't. That's not. That's not good.
It's being done, I think, in several places. Let me do a search for it. I think it's being called.
And is it to get to the same file every single time?
I think so.
Okay.
Let me see how many times it's done like that. Options General does it. Options does it.
Okay, so we're actually thinking about it. We only need to do this if somebody passes in a language string into locale. So it's not every load.
It's not every load. You're right. Yeah,
So,
there is that place that you showed is like it does the include dynamically.
yeah.
It's inside the if part. So people did that before us.
Okay, so only we have to do it just here.
All right.
Yeah. And I still want to see what's in it. So let me just go back into here and try and run the unit test on it. But I kind of want to know what's thing. Yeah, so we've got that stuff going on in here. Hey, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, well, so
Key value as expected.
V, UK, TD, TL, TD, TT. Yeah, so basically it's the key. So does key exist?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a key exist, and that's in local. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this is array key. If exists. Have I got type too far? Array key exists.
I'll be back in a second.
Key and search. Yeah. Okay. So that in theory, yeah. Loads that. We load the text domain here, and then we do the initialization. Yeah. So how do we test this? So we are going to do copy. Okay. So let's go back to our file we were working in, just so that we've got somewhere to work. I'm in here, and we're going to do test WP cal or something, wasn't it? So let's see if we can change it. Okay. So default locale equals in a global in here. So global is a super file. So how do globals get set? Are they just a global? I guess. Guys, am I right in doing that?
Okay, let me check. Did you get an error there?
No, but I'm kind of assuming that this is a global and we need to like call it from global to get it into the function. Function FFFR, and we need test this certs different. Yeah, let's just try doing asserts equal. No idea. What do you reckon, guys? What's the chance of this working?
There is a problem there, Paul.
Oh yeah. Maybe I should.
That's going to fail, right? You're expecting this to fail?
Yes.
All right.
I'm expecting it to fail. Yeah. Yeah. They shouldn't be different. They should be different.
Right. Okay. Failure.
Okay. So let's see what we've got. They didn't give us in there. Yeah, sometimes you get the values came out. Slow test. Yeah, I can see this being a slow test. Well, first one should be French, the second one should be English. Didn't print anything out.
What? Global.
Am I running the test?
You're still getting the failed one, right?
Yep.
LWP local.
Oh, do you think it's actually timing out?
No. So it's running just the function that you.
So it says you usually select this slow test greater than 105 milliseconds. 1559 milliseconds run test function. There was one error. Is there a timeout on a function? I don't believe so.
You have an undefined index. That shouldn't be there.
WP LAN. Where was that then?
WP line.
Doesn't tell me what it is.
366.
Oh yeah, locale 366. 366. So that's undefined. Down. Oh, yeah, wrong. My fault.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mistake. I bet it's even slower now. Woot. All right, we've got data come back.
It's pretty much the whole file.
Yes, but how do I tell if it's French or English? So this one should be in French, and this one should have been in English.
They're both in English though, right?
Looks like it.
There's a
Is it possible?
A function to download the translation file.
Yes, we call that.
Is it possible that if you do any code there, if you write any code to the function, you will still get English as a fail-safe thing?
Well, this is where the switch should happen on the language here. So load default language, unload text define default. So I just copied this from the plugin, from the bottom of the options file. I assume we still got to actually make the language switch. Yeah.
Right.
We've actually got to switch the language and then tell it to start using this new one.
That's just using the filter there, right? The locale filter.
What's this do? So this is so this says load text domain default being the get text default, yeah. Language directory locale.mo. Yeah, if it's multi-site, load the multi-site stuff. Yeah, so it loads all the text domains for the various networks and stuff, and then just returns out. Yeah, so if we pass in the locale, which is basically en-us, yeah.
Why not using the filter, Paul?
What filter?
The locale filter.
Because that runs on a file that's already there. What we want to do is actually change. We want to change the language loaded. So we basically said, okay, we want this in a different language. At this point, change the language. Yeah, load me a different set of translation files. Yeah. Basically, we want new translation files to be loaded into the text domain. So this unloads the.
I think that's the way that plugin does it. It just adds a filter to local.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. So it's probably receiving the old local and returning the new one, which is just the code, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only file for the plugin. That's the only function, actually. The plugin is just a function.
So you think if we just dropped a well, we can't do that in here.
Yeah, we'd have to add a function just to do the switch to return the new locale or something.
Let's see what we've got here. Print print R because I'm in unit tests land, which doesn't like.
The other thing is you got two identical locales there, even though you asked for the French one.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
What if you what was the locale that you try FR?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm using, FR.
I think it's might be the other way around, maybe. Little f.
Could be. That'd be why I didn't print that out.
Yeah, I think it's small f or big FR. Lowercase.
That would explain. Yep. Would spot. That's why I like coding. This is like pair coding.
Yeah.
Virtual pair coding. Let's do some stuff. So unfortunately, Ian, we're not going to get to.
We're not going to have a success tonight.
Well, we might get something in, but we're also not going to get something for you to get your name against.
Oh, that's okay.
But that will happen.
Okay.
If you keep coming along to the sessions, we will very soon have your name in lights. And what we mean by name in lights is that you come here, you look at about.
My plugin stopped working about 2-3 minutes ago, so I kind of lost your screen.
Okay.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to rejoin.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So this is the about page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if I go search for me, and here's me.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And basically, you stick around, you'll be in this group.
Cool.
And that's the promise that I will sort of, almost certainly guarantee.
Does it stay there forever, Paul? Like, or just for this?
For that release.
I see.
And you have to do something each time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look under who's who in here,
yeah,
it's a fairly decent list of the serious WordPress people.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done very much to get my name in here. If I ever see me up in this list, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, David was part of Contrib core. You went
Yes,
to one at least.
Yeah, no, David's. So Adam's popped his head in here.
Cool.
We've had Pascal does a lot of the committing for my bits and pieces. There is David Newton. He's a local guy. He's been doing a lot of the stuff around the source set, the responsive images. He became a bit of an expert on that. That's why he's here, because he did all of the base code that went into the source set stuff. That's why he got the shout out for that. Yeah. Basically, the people on the top here are basically this little subgroup up here decided that these people made more than a basic contribution to this release. Yeah, well, you've got Mike, who did the release lead. Adam, I know personally. I've worked with him. So yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Canadian translator team because I've swapped it across. Interesting. Yeah. So that's what the aim of the game is. Well, and that to improve our code and to improve WordPress.
Yeah. Well, that's like unit tests is something that I've been really wanting to get into my coding right now. Yeah. Because we're at the point now. Like I worked in Python on Django before working with the company I'm working with now. And so it's me and two other people working on this code base, and we're at the point now where we're starting to redo, fix things up that we had done 6 months ago. Yeah. And my goodness, what a headache it is. So I would love to, learn how to write better tests so that we can actually do assertions, make sure that things are done properly when we do modifications.
Yep. No, I think that's totally doable. And we go. So, do you think? Let's just put some more prints in here to see if we actually get to these various sections.
I have to head home.
Yes.
Now.
Well, we finished now.
Okay.
8:30 is the finish point.
When do you guys usually do this?
It's every other Monday.
Every other Monday? So 16th is the next one?
Yes. Sign up on the Meetup and just sign up. And there's also, we're in the Slack channel. You remember the WordPress Toronto Slack group? Yep. There's a channel in there for that. And the video for this session. Yeah.
Okay.
We have the videos there too from previous sessions, maybe 2 or 3 previous ones, Paul?
Yeah, they're all actually on my repo. On my GitHub, on my YouTube channel. I've just been saving them into there for now.
Okay, cool. Is there usually a topic is around?
No, we're not doing topics because we're trying to work our way down the functions file. Today we've sort of got sidetracked a little bit. Because we were essentially trying to make our life easier in unit tests.
So basically, you're getting the low-hanging fruits, and or just going through the big functions file, see what doesn't have a test code for it yet, and then create it.
And next time I'll commit to not getting distracted, and we'll go and pick one of these basic functions. We're done week started, maybe serialize. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that one, and is serialized. That will be an interesting one to do.
To test those two, because they don't have tests right now.
None of them have got tests. None of these files. Well, all the tests for this file we have written, or I have written, and yeah. So when I started this project, there were no tests.
Yeah, I guess the reason that I'm asking is because I am not super familiar with core.
Yeah.
I just dive into there when a plugin that I'm using is calling something in core that isn't acting the way I expect it to. So if these are the functions that we're going to be working on, then I'll read up on them.
And if you
before.
Sure, and if you want to even attempt to, what I'll do next time, is I will do the 101 primer on how to do the unit tests. Okay. We were sort of in mid-flow when you joined us.
I definitely
I
understand that.
I didn't go back, but quite often the start of the sessions we do a startup, and we will. Do you know how to use Vagrant? Have you got familiar with Vagrant and VVV?
I don't. I use like something very similar to VVV, but for Docker.
Yeah.
So same kind of idea.
Do you use Docker?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I found someone else that used Docker.
Do you use Docker?
I have to talk to you. Yeah, I have to talk to you later.
Oh, I'd love to.
Join the core Contrib to core group, and then we can talk later there. Sorry, Paul, I interrupt you.
No. I know you're a Docker fan, but I don't think there's a Docker install that's got the deploy.
I had to add myself.
Okay.
The PHP unit and stuff like that.
Okay, so you need to make this. So, is there have you got a config script for that?
I have my own Docker script.
Yeah, so I wonder whether that's something that we could put on a GitHub repository and actually spread out and use, because otherwise Ian might have to install VVV, so he has a build of the development branch, so that
the thing is, I mixed up both approaches, so I'm using your repo.
Yes.
With whatever configuration Docker brings, the apps and stuff like that.
That will give you that. Yeah. Okay. So that will work, because you can put mine. So
so it's Tiago.
Yes.
Yeah. Tiago, that's how I say it. Pronounce your name.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Because we can connect in Slack, and if you have a Docker file, you can either if you want me to star your repo on the hub, I can definitely do that, and then use your config.
Yeah.
I need to talk to someone that does it too. I'm the only person who's doing that for WordPress local environment so far that I know.
Yeah. Because I had to write my own Docker file based on another one just to be able to get it up and running properly too. So
cool.
Okay, so there's a little side project for you two to do.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of evangelism
for Docker.
To build the stuff for Docker.
Yeah.
And put some script in, and we'll have to get you to present to. I'll book you two, both of you. You're now booked. You're speaking at WordCamp Toronto.
I was talking to Tom about it, and he proposed the same thing. That would be nice.
Yep. You're both talking. You're talking. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I can come and heckle.
Right. If I get a free T-shirt, I'm good.
You'll get a free T-shirt. You'll also get a free ticket. You'll get paid all of $30 in a meal.
Wonderful.
Right.
Okay. So
I would love that.
Yeah. But that would be something really good, because I've done some basic stuff, and I've done the Vagrant talk several times. But I've said that Docker is the next solution. But I'm a Windows user, so it's harder for me because of the file locks. All the scripts I saw didn't work on Windows. So that's a little challenge for us. And maybe that's something we'll do as a diversion. If it's just the three of us in here, we can 1 week not do Contrib to core, basically try and get me to install Docker and get the script working on Windows.
Yeah, I'd be interested, because one of our developers, the most junior developer, is working on a Windows machine. So yeah, and I just don't even know how to help him.
Yeah.
Nothing works the same.
Not quite the same.
Yeah.
One of the things is going to happen shortly is that Microsoft have committed or have announced that a native Bash is coming to Windows.
True.
Yeah.
And that's going to be huge for us type of developer type people.
Mm-hmm. So for next week or for 2 weeks from now, I'm looking for maybe unserialized and is serialized. Is there another function that I should look at?
No, unless there's anything you fancy.
Read into those two.
Okay. Have a look at anything you fancy. If you go down the file there, oh, that's an interesting function. Actually, pick some simple ones.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to commit that those two files up so that they're in our repo.
Paul, do you have the repo in the Meetup information?
Yes, it is. Yes, I believe so. End of session. So I'll commit that. And so that's where we were. Guys, if you feel free to wade in here and pull this down and try and get this to work. I don't think we're that close to getting it to work. But the concept of what we're trying to do is that when we recall this function, the constructor reinitializes and then resets all of the variables from the language which has just been loaded.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the task. But it may be there's a problem. WP content. See, my test, not tests. Yeah, no source. WP content. See, there's no language file in here. I would expect to see a language folder in here now. Yeah.
I see.
So I don't know what's happening. Maybe that's.
Do you have to refresh it or something?
No, it's not. It's not there. It just hasn't loaded. So if I did this if I open up my I'll just check that for you. Just source. Yeah, there's no language file in there. But if I go to my default, in fact, it was on trunk, wasn't it? Go to trunk, and the language files where I changed my language. There were files in there.
Right.
So we need to get develop to stick those files in when we run a unit test. Or maybe it will never do. I don't know. There's a lot of unvariables here, but feel free to snoop in here. It's not. Don't think because I've been doing the coding that I don't want you guys to get in here and try and sort this.
Okay.
All right. And as we work together, I think it will make life a little bit easier. So it's late. We're 5 minutes late. So you've got to go. I got to go. Thank you, Tiago. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you both.
Cool.
And we'll do lots of pieces together. And we'll see you at 6:30 in 2 weeks' time.
And in the channel, in the meantime,
yep.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, guys.
Right.
See you on. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Good night.